Hey guys, this is Brooke from Growing Up Vegan, and today I wanted to talk about a question that I get very, very frequently. And I've even gotten it starting since my oldest was like 3 months old. And that is, what do you do when your children go to other children's birthday parties? So, for some reason, this seems to have struck a chord in a lot of parents that I speak with, and they seem to be, hey, princess, it's my cat. Here, sweetie. This is Princess Sparkles. She just totally jumped in on my video time. So anyway, so yes, so it seems to struck a chord with a lot of families, and they're like, "What do you do? How do you make your child fit in?" And what kind of other issues do you have with bringing the vegan lifestyle outside of your home? So pretty much, it's a good question, and I'm always open to answering questions, especially in regards to my children and how I raise them, because I do want more people to. I want to set some kind of an example so more people can get more confident about adopting a vegan lifestyle in their home and outside as well. So pretty much what I do is I always am in constant communication with the family. Now, not too constant that I look like the crazy animal activist mom, but I am uh, pretty, into what the party is going to entail, what they're going to be eating, what they're going to be doing, things like that. So what I try to do is I always try to mimic or bring in a dish that's better than what they're eating. So a lot of pizza places, because pizza seems to be like the big thing that children have at birthday parties. It's usually like the staple food that they have. They either have like ice cream, pizza, cake, whatever else. But pizza pretty much is like a main, like a solid, consistent dish that is offered at birthday parties. So what I usually do is I would go to a pizza place that I'm actually well familiar with, and I would contact them and let them know that I need a vegan pie made with, if there's like vegan pepperoni, they don't have it at the pizza place, but I can buy that from like Whole Foods or Wild by Nature, pick that up and have it look exactly like the kids' pizza. And I would bring that in to the party, and then when they go to make my kids slice, they would take from that pie. So that's something that I've always done. I've always provided my own food. I do that with everything, but especially for birthday parties. Now, birthday parties are a little more sensitive because the kids are running around, they're playing with their friends, they're having a good time, and they want to do the same thing that their friends are doing. So that's why I try to mimic the foods that I give my children to be the same as the ones that are being served at the party. Now, another one is the cake. Now, with the cake, I always bring my own cake, but sometimes I can't duplicate it because it's either custom made, it's an ice cream cake, or whatever else. It just might be different, use different, flavorings that I don't want my kids to have. So what I usually do is I bring in something like awesome for them to eat. So if like it's a chocolate cake, chocolate mousse cake or something like that, I will go somewhere and either get like a super awesome vegan cake from like a bakery or something, or I would get like something different, like a cupcake or something that I know my kids like that they don't have often, and then I'll bring that to them so they know they're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna have this. I'm not even looking at that cake. So that's usually what I do. Now, when my kids were like younger, and my oldest is 7 years old, so she understands why I don't want her to have certain things. I tell her too. I'm like, you can eat this, but this is why we don't promote. Why I don't want you to eat this milkshake or this pizza that has cheese on it because it comes from grieving mothers, pretty much. And I gingerly try to tell my kids, and I tell them every time they ask for something that I wouldn't normally give them. I tell them like, you can have this, but this is what's in it. And 10 times out of 10 they'll say no. And there's a vegan alternative. And if you want cookies, chocolate chip cookies from the store, we'll go home and bake some awesome vegan ones. And they usually go for that always. So I don't buy them the dairy treats or anything like that. And that doesn't change when they go to birthday parties. So a lot of families, when I do this, they seem very like inquisitive. Some seem a little standoffish about it. They don't really understand. They think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's a birthday party. Why can't they enjoy themselves? And then that's when I tell them that it's a big deal to us, that we don't promote that. And generally, when you tell them how they feel, how you feel about it, and why, they'll usually back up because they probably feel guilty on some level, or they just don't really care and they don't understand, they're ignorant, and they'd rather not discuss it with you further, and that's fine. So that's like those are like the big things that I generally deal with, and that's a big thing with a lot of families that I know that are turning vegetarian slash vegan, because the two are different, very different, and that's a big thing with families. And they're like, oh, well, I couldn't do that to my kid, and it's not doing anything to your child. It's just telling them that society does something that they're not going to be doing for much longer, which is very true. The vegan diet is not something that's going to be extinct. If anything, it's going to be global, and it'll be sooner than we think. And hopefully, within the next 10 years or so, it'll be a good amount of people eating at least a plant-based lifestyle. So, so that's why I tell people, a lot of times they'll say, oh, veganism is such an extreme diet, you're depriving your kids. And then I tell them it's actually not the diet. I don't believe that veganism is a diet, I believe it's a lifestyle. And I tell people that because there are a lot of people that will wear, leather and they'll say they're vegan. And I'm like, well, you're not vegan, you're plant-based, which is fine. And I'm not going to be like a Nazi about, what the terminology people use, but I do try to approach it as a lifestyle, that we have. It's not like, oh, let them have one treat. Well, no, because it's against our lifestyle. So that's what I normally do. It's all about communication with families. Like I said, with the pizza, with the cake, you can certainly find, especially in 2014, a pizza place that will do vegan pizza for you. Just give them the cheese, and they'll take care of it. I'm super, super anal retentive with which pizza places I work with because I don't want any cross-contamination or anything like that. So generally for those places, I tell them I have a dairy allergy or whatever it is, and they're usually very, very good about it. So those are my tips for dealing with the kids' birthday parties and what to do, and just some kind of insights. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy, but a lot of people, you would be surprised how many people are intimidated by telling another parent that, oh, I don't want my kid to eat this, and then I don't know if they're nervous about the criticism. I don't know if they're nervous about people talking about them, but just it's your lifestyle. And if you're going to embark on a vegan journey, you have to understand that people are going to have criticisms, especially when you have children. That's, for all my vegan cronies out there that don't have any kids yet, just wait. You're going to get it. You're going to hear everything. And there's nothing that I haven't heard, that I haven't dealt with. And I am, again, more open to answering questions and things of that nature. But people are cruel. People are tough. But you stand by your guns. I know what we're doing is right. I know it's right. It's a compassion-free living, compassionate living. And, I think that, through education, people will eventually catch on. And actually, real quick, I don't want to make this video very long because I have a thing with talking too much. But I actually was at my children's school the other day, and I had a mom come up to me as I was putting my kids in the car. And, hey, princess. And she comes up to me and she's like, can I talk to you for a second? And I was like, oh, sure. And I was like, oh, great, something's gonna happen. So then my kid did something or whatever. But that's what I was thinking in my head. But she actually told me that her son is friends with my daughter Autumn and has been talking to her, and he doesn't want to eat meat anymore. And I was blown away. I was like, wow. I was like, what is my daughter saying? I wish she, and a part of me was like, okay, I hope she wasn't too aggressive because I don't want to push them onto people. I want it to be through education. And she was like, no, he just sees what she brings to school, and he's very interested, and she tells him about the animals and how, she loves animals and she won't eat animals, and this little boy loves animals too. And I guess after just seeing how my daughter is, she's a normal kid. She eats normal food, vegan food. She eats a lot of vibrant food. She eats living food, and she's a very, very happy little girl. I think it rubbed off on him, and he doesn't want to eat meat anymore. So the mom was kind of, as she was telling me, you could tell she was very nervous and confused and wasn't sure how to. I don't know if she wanted to have me talk to her son to undo what my daughter had did, but I was like, no, it's a beautiful thing, and here's my bumper stickers on my car. And she saw the animal rights bumper stickers, and she's like, that's cool. Well, are there any places to eat? And I helped her out, and we exchanged numbers, and I've been a resource for her, which I'm really, really excited about. I feel really good about it. So one step at a time, positive criticism, positive energy to everybody that's embarking on this journey, and yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing. So I think that you can be non-aggressive and still get your point across, probably 100 million times better than if you were to just, hold signs up and, have people's schools and with this Todd Staples guy is thinking that animal activists are doing, which we're not. But that was a whole long video that was ridiculous because but I don't know how to fix it. My voice was like not syncing up with my lips. So anyway, but those are my tips for how to dealing with a kid's birthday party. And if you guys have any comments or criticism, please leave them below, and I will be sure to get back to you. And thank you guys. And next video will be up very soon. I'm going to look to do about 2 to 3 a week, just kind of trying to get it out there. But I would love to hear some comments, criticisms, and suggestions on future videos. Okay, thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.